Hey guys, Shane here with etrailer.com. Today I have a 2016 Ram 1500 and I'm going to be installing the ARC LED headlights. These headlights are going to give you a much brighter view on the road. You're going to have a rich bright white color instead of that old dingy yellow color that you would get from your typical halogen bulbs. The benefit of having an LED over a halogen is you're not going to have to replace them. These are going to have a 30,000 hour lifespan and 6,000 lumens. Now just to give you an idea of the difference between our factory light and the new LED, you can see our new LED is a very rich white. It's going to help us see the road a lot better. You can see how much bigger this area is across and down. One thing I do want to point out though is you'll notice how high this light comes up. Because these are so bright, take into consideration other drivers that are coming at you, you may need to adjust your light down just a little bit. And typically there's a little screw in there where you can adjust that where this light is aiming down a little bit more and not so much up into other drivers' faces. And then here we have our high beams on. Again, much richer, brighter white color. It's really going to help you see the road a lot better on those roads that may not have any street lights. These LED bulbs are going to work directly with your factory wiring. They're going to work in most applications for headlights and fog lights. They're going to be 30,000 lumens, which is huge bright. They're going to be a rich white light, as you can see here, as opposed to incandescent bulbs that are kind of a yellow dull color. Again, it's going to allow you to see the road a lot better when you're driving at night. These bulbs are going to fit directly in place of your factory bulbs. They're going to come in high beam and low beam. Keep in mind, you're going to want to make sure that you use a fit guide because the connections for the low beam and high beam are going to be different. Your kit is going to come with a box that looks like this, and this is a decoder. It's an anti-flicker module, and what it does is if you install the lights and they start flickering, this is going to stop the flickering. So you may or may not need these. I'm going to recommend installing your lights first, testing them out before you put this in, because if you put this in, this is going to require you to have to drill a hole in the back of the headlight dust cap to get this installed. The installation process is pretty simple and straightforward. You will have to remove the grill, and to get the headlights out, you have to reach behind the panel and pop a little clip down to get it out. Other than that, it's pretty simple and straightforward for changing out the bulbs. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's walk you through how to get them installed. Start our installation. We're going to open our hood. There's a small panel up here we need to remove. Plastic trim panel tool, screwdriver. We're going to have some little fasteners here. Pop those up. Then we'll set this panel aside. We're going to have 4 10mm head bolts across the top of our grill that we need to remove. And what we're going to do is we need to pop our grill out of place. The easiest way to do it is to reach down. There's a fastener right down here. Just kind of, as you're pulling out on the grill, just pry out like that, and then we'll set our grill aside. Before we start removing our headlights, what I like to do is run a piece of tape right along this edge here, so that as we're taking it out, it doesn't damage the paint. It's really up to you if you want to do it or not. I also, you can see this strip here, I did that so when we're putting the grill back in, it doesn't scratch the paint. We'll take a 10mm socket, remove this bolt and this one down here. We're going to take an 8mm socket, and this step isn't necessary. I'm just trying to make it easier so you can see what I'm going to do next. We're going to pull out these 2 bolts to loosen the fender liner. Normally you can just take a flathead screwdriver, trim panel tool, and pop that off, and it opens this panel. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out so you can see. So if you look right up here, there's a white latch. You need to push that up. Then we're going to work our headlight out. So what we need to do, take this red tab, pull it up, pull this plug off, and this one, take the gray tab, slide it back, like that, and we're going to push down there. That. We're going to have two caps on the back of our lights. We're going to twist them and pop them off. This is your low beam. This is going to be your high beam. We'll twist our light out. Pull back on the tab. Don't pull it too hard because you don't want to break it. Remove our light. So you're going to have a high beam and a low beam. What I did is I marked mine. Your low beam is going to have this large yellow gasket on it, or grommet. Probably going to have to put it in this way. If it doesn't work for some reason, flip it around. Like that. And we'll reinstall our light. So what you're going to do is when you put your light in, you want to make sure that it's facing up and down like this and not turned. If it has to be turned, on the very back right here, your kit is going to come with a little Allen wrench. You're going to take that screw out, and you're going to twist the light and adjust it the way you need to. Probably going to have to adjust the bottom one because of the way they fit in there. So your kit's also going to come with a decoder. We're going to install them in here first, which I suggest doing. And test them out. We want to make sure that our lights are not flickering. If they're flickering, you are going to have to install the decoder, and you're going to have to drill a hole in the back of your cap. So now we'll do our high beam. So you can see how the low beam is going side to side and not going up and down. So now we're going to adjust that one to get it set properly. Small Allen wrench. We'll remove the screw. The screw is small. It's going to come with 2 Allen wrenches, and they do come with replacement screws. So if you happen to drop one, you will have another one in there. Now we're just going to take the light and we'll twist it. And then we can reinstall the screw. Now we'll reinstall our caps. Then we can plug in our light and test it out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test it while the truck's off. So now we found out that our high beam is not working on our driver's side. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull that bulb out and flip the plug around and put it back in place. So this is the way we had it plugged in. We're going to take it off and flip it around, because the new light is going to have a negative and positive side. And then we'll just reinstall it and test it again. Next thing we need to do is we need to start the truck. We need to check to make sure our lights do not flicker. If they start flickering, that's when you need to install the decoder. Doesn't look like they're flickering, so we're not going to need the decoder. We're not going to need to drill a hole in the cap. Now we can get our headlight back in place, reattach our wheel well liner, and then repeat the process on the other light. Once you're done installing both lights, you got them both back in place, go ahead, reinstall your grill, reinstall your plastic piece up here, and you're ready to go. That's going to do it for a look at installation on the ARC LED headlights on our 2016 Ram 1500.